Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games, Weekend Games Live here on the 28th of November, if that can be believed. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. I had food, folks, gaming, and fun. Three F's and an awesome G. Christmas season is coming. I'm really excited about it. I think that it's going to be a great year already, and if you haven't started shopping, now's a good time. I did a top games of Christmas last year. I expect to do one again this year for those of you who are looking for gift ideas. Um, so let's get to the news. We have new news. It must be one of the 7 days of the week because there's a new Munchkin that's coming out. Yeah, a Harry Potter Deluxe Munchkin. Never really been into Harry Potter, never been into Munchkin, but I know those two are very popular commodities, so let's hope that does well. Keyforge, the game that was unique in every box, is selling like hotcakes. It's really gone forward and sold a tremendous amount, so I'm happy for it. I'm not on the bandwagon yet. I'll probably catch a drift and see if I really into it before because I know it is an investment. But it's nice to see people enjoying it, and hey, if anyone's played it and they think it's the cat's meow, well, meow in the comments. Um, Morels, a card game about that I like to call the Shroom Collection Agency, which deals with collecting and eating delicious mushrooms, is now on digital or will be on digital tomorrow on App Store and Google Play. No Steam option yet, but for those of you who enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. It was a pleasant little filler. I decided not to keep it, so I have it up for sale, but it still was delightful. It did decent. So, and finally, Game Changers is a curious little addition to the board gaming universe. It's a set of 80 cards being sold that are meant to be added as end-game conditions to any game, almost any game. You're not buying them as a game, you're buying them to add or spice up games you already have with something unique. Now, color me suspicious always when I see something that strikes me as snake oilish, but at the same time, I'm not willing to discount it until I hear whether it really does. It's kind of weird. I mean, we've all been like 504, the Friedman Freeze game that had like, hey, you can choose how you want this game to be. Here are 504 bland ways to play a game you won't want to play more than two or three of. That's my opinion. I know some people like it, but in general, I do have that sort of suspicion of whether it really will pull out or not. But hey, they're giving it a try, so what the heck? Let's find out. And with that, let's get to my question of the week. The question is, why? And I get this now still from people like, why, and people who aren't gamers even over the holidays, like, why are you doing video tubes and you things? They're older people. And why are you doing it? And I thought it might be a good time to kind of refresh why I do Harebrained Games. And it's it's lowly, unlofty expectations. I started it. The root cause was a few friends a few years ago were asking gaming questions who weren't gamers, and I had been years and years into Board Game Geek and conventions and stuff, and these guys were like, this sounds fun, but at the same time, I had to kind of steer my way over to that audience, and I decided that rather than answer them one by one, I would put up a couple videos on a YouTube channel that I would make. And that's kind of the rest is history. It's never it's been decided that a few other people find it appealing or find my reviews decent, but in general, the purpose has never changed. It's still kind of a grassroots. I'm here to just talk about games, and it's not going to be exciting, and it's not going to have the high production values that I enjoy. I enjoy watching YouTube videos from some of the other groups that just go to great lengths to create great videos, and that's probably not going to be what Hairbrand is. It's mostly like I get a bee in my bonnet, I see a cool game, and I want to talk about it, or I want to explain it to other people who are listening, friends nearby, and some of you others. I've been very, very just pleased by some of the responses from people that are just subscribing, and I'm welcome. I'm very thankful that you're here, and I love feedback as far as how you doing, what games are cool, like give me ideas too. So it's really what it is. I have no aspirations to do anything. We clearly can see I'm not professional at this, but that's really the why. That's the question of the beach is of the week, is that it's a low budget approach to watch and give valuable feedback to a close group of friends and anyone else who wants to join in. So that's that, and now we'll get to three games. First game, just pick this sucker up, and I will be doing a review on this shortly. The River. 2 to 4 player game. The idea being everybody's going down a river. Apparently, they all get their own rivers, so I guess it must be a highfalutin affair in whatever civilization or dimension this is in. But the idea is you're going down and you're building things along the shoreline until you get done with the river or you've built enough stuff that you're awesome and you win. More on that review later. Second off, this is an oldie but goodie, Kingdom of Solomon. It is the time of the kings in the history of Israel, and I am interesting. It's a worker placement kind of game with a little bit of twist. You're building a temple, you're building roadways, you're accomplishing objectives. There's a newer version coming out that's the Wisdom of Solomon that is on its way. Actually, I think I even have that. I'll be doing a review of that later. But yeah, so that's another one. This is probably a 6-ish. It didn't wow me, but it's by Philip Dewberry, which also did Black Orchestra, which did wow me. This is pleasant and nice. I don't know that I would pull it out for any awesome reason, but finally, and this seems to be a theme, let's go from early Kings of Solomon to modern day. I had just finished playing this marathon experience. This is probably the most I have spent reading and trying to understand rules of a game in many years. Just because I had trouble wrapping it around my head. But Golan 73 is a reenactment of the Israeli-Syrian armored combat that occurred during the Yom Kippur War in the Golan Heights. Definitely meaty. You can get it. It's pretty pricey right now. It does a really good job. Totally took me forever to learn it. Totally. Definitely an 8. For those that are interested in it, but it is an investment, and it is very, very much something where you're gonna either you're really good at war games already, and this is a cakewalk, or if you're just starting out, don't try this at home without help. Yeah. So let's get to Tim's tantrum. Get off my land. I made a big faux pas the other day, or at least I broke one of my own rules. One of my rules was don't treat people don't choose your difficulty level based for other people based on your own difficulty level awareness. By this I mean there was a particular person who was struggling with one of the war games, and he was struggling to learn a particular bot. Now a bot is basically a flowchart or a sheet or something that says you can play this by yourself and we'll use this flowchart to kind of pretend to be the enemy. And this was a game that was it had the simplest bot AI that of any of the games in its line. And I made the mistake in my mind. It wasn't, this is a common thing, but that's one of the easiest bots you can have to figure it out. And I realized I broke my own rule because it doesn't work that way. The easiest bot for a GMT game is going to be way, way more difficult than most other types of just general gaming. And this particular person was trying to learn this new game, very eager and very interested, just having trouble, just a little overwhelmed. And I have to make sure, and this is my tantrum against myself, that I'm not comparing unfairly in this regard, because I look at the box of GMT games and I see, complexity 1, and I think that there must be a ground level or a basement or something underneath for people who that one level is way too much. And so it is something that I have to be careful of. I'm not skewing things over to say, well, I didn't have a problem with it, therefore it must be simple. It doesn't work that way. And that's something that I'm trying to be a lot more mindful of, is just to be kind and go, okay, I'm sorry you're having difficulty with it. What questions can I answer for you? And it all worked out. The exchange went fine. But I did find myself curious that I broke my own rule in that regard. Anyway, that is the week in review this week. Thanks for joining me. I will probably be doing not a live one next time, because I'm going to actually go back to do the regular one, but time-wise it's about the same, other than the cuts and all that stuff. But in general, I am looking forward to this Christmas season. I think we have a lot of great games to talk about, and if anybody has any great kind of leads on games that they don't think a lot of people know about that you'd like to share, by all means mention them in the comments. I've heard some word of mouth that I'll be talking about next week, but hey, there we go. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.